Mohammed, that question was in your 11th standard textbook. Temperature coefficient, not resistance coefficient. Temperature coefficient of resistance. Alpha formula.
Sir, I solved from that RT equals to R naught bracket 1
RT
plus alpha
minus
delta
R
T.
naught upon R naught.
But I
Correct.
didn't get the right option.
Yeah, because you have to select the closest option, and secondly, the temperature has to be in Kelvin. So you have to convert everything into Kelvin. So the question was in Kelvin.
So, but
So remind me again today
change
once.
change in temperature is same in Celsius and Kelvin, na?
Not always. Not always. I'll tell you why. There is in this chapter only. I'll tell you why. In NEET. Remember which chapter we were doing? Absolute temperature, magnetism. In magnetism also, you have Curie temperature where you have to convert. Anyway, remind me. I'll show you the answer. It's a direct question from lab. Okay. But you understood which formula to use, right?
Yeah, sir, but I solved. I didn't get any closest answer. That's why.
You send it to me again. I will solve it and send it.
Okay. In the ending of the lecture, na?
So after the in WhatsApp only, just remind me once.
Okay.
You guys can see the screen, Ampere's law.
Yes, sir.
Now listen. Ampere's law, there is a statement, and there are three applications for Ampere's law. So there is a statement of Ampere's law, and there are three applications of Ampere's law. So first, let me tell you the statement, and then let me tell you some things about this thing. One thing you need to know is you need to know integration. I hope you know a little bit of integration by now. If you don't know, it's fine. I'll tell you what formula we are using. Now, if you look at this, what does Ampere's law say? The line integral. Line integral means what? Integration with respect to length. What is the meaning of line integral? The meaning of line integral is integration with respect to length around the line integral of magnetic field. Tell me what magnetic field is denoted by. Capital B.
B.
Magnetic field B. And what is the unit of magnetic field? Tesla. What is the unit of magnetic field? Tesla. Correct. So listen to this. The line integral. Line integral means integration with respect to length. The line integral means integration with respect to length of magnetic field. Did you understand it now? What I have written? So continue. The line integral of magnetic field. From this line, what do I get? Line integral of magnetic field of induction around any closed path. So I have to do closed integration. Do you guys know what is the difference between integration and closed integration? Do you know the difference between this?
No, sir.
I will say the simple difference between integration and closed integration. No?
No.
Okay. So integration is denoted like this, and closed integration is denoted like this, correct? Integration is denoted like this, and closed integration is denoted like this. So the line integral of magnetic field of induction around any closed path in free space is equal to. Now I'll tell you what is the difference between integration and closed integration. Now if I have a rectangle, just I'm giving an example. A, B, C, D. If I tell you integrate from A to B, and if I tell you closed integrate from A to B, the difference is when I say integrate from A to B, you will just integrate from A to B. But when I say closed integration, you will have to come back to A. Means you have to integrate A to B, plus you have to integrate B to C, plus you have to integrate C to D, plus you have to integrate D to A. Means you have to come back to A where you started. Means one complete loop you should integrate. Okay, so the difference between integration and closed integration is integration is only done between the 2 points which are mentioned in the integration. But closed integration, you have to integrate till you reach back to this point. Okay, so let me give you one more example. So here if I say integrate A to B, what will happen is you'll only integrate A to B. But here if I say close integrate A to B, or close integration of A, means I have to integrate A to B, plus I have to integrate B to C, plus C to D, D to E, E to F, F to G, G to H, H to I to A. You have to come back to the starting point. That is the meaning of closed integration. Did you understand? What is the meaning of closed integration? Loop. You have to complete the entire loop. From where you started, you have to go everywhere and come back. But if I don't put closed integration, then you don't have to do the complete loop. Okay. So this is only possible in closed surfaces. For example, only in a rectangle, I can come back. Correct? In a rectangle, I can come back. A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. But in an open surface, in a line, I cannot come back. A to B, I cannot turn back. I'll tell you what does it mean. Understood the difference between closed integration and open integration, or closed surface and open surface. Now, the thing is, if you know the statement, you will automatically know the formula, or if you know the formula, you'll automatically know the statement. So listen to this. What is the first line of Ampere's law? Tell me, what is the first line of Ampere's law? The line integral. Line integral means integration with respect to length of magnetic field of induction around any closed path. So if you notice the first two lines, if I want to write it in mathematical form, it is this. Just notice. The line integral of magnetic field of induction around any closed path in free space is equal to absolute permeability of free space. Absolute permeability of free space is denoted by mu naught. Everyone knows this. Absolute permeability of free space is denoted by mu naught times total current. Now see, this is the Ampere's law formula. Check. Check the formula for Ampere's law. Okay. Be with me. Don't zone out. Listen to me. This is the formula. Now this formula in words is written over here. So listen to this. The line integral means integration with respect to length of magnetic field of induction around any closed surface in free space is equal to absolute permeability times total current flowing through that. This is the statement of Ampere's law. And I hope everyone knows what is mu naught from magnetism. What is mu naught? Absolute permeability of free space. And what is the value for mu naught? 4 pi into
4 pi into 10
minus
raised to
7.
10 raised to
Remember,
minus 7.
4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. That is the value for mu naught. Everyone is aware of that now?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So,
While reading the statement, you said that integration of closed system and something free. I didn't get that point. How does closed and free to?
Closed and
free also once you said, I don't remember, but two words you used, the closed one and the free one.
Oh, I said closed and something.
Free.
Free.
Yeah.
No. That is free space. Free space means vacuum. That is why mu naught comes. In magnetism, we
okay.
have done two things, mu naught and mu r. Remember in magnetism, absolute permeability and relative permeability. So if it is not free space, then relative permeability. Okay, that was what I said. Closed surface and open surface, I said. Closed surface and open surface. So look at this. The best example of a closed surface is a circle, is a rectangle, is a square where I can come back without turning my direction. But can I say a point and a line are an example of an open surface? But a circle and a square are an example of an open surface. Sorry, a rectangle and a circle are an example of a closed surface. Why do I say that? Because if I start from one point in a line, I cannot come back to the same point without turning my direction. But same way, if I start from a point in a rectangle, can I say I can come back to the same point? If I can come back to the same point where I started, then that surface is called a closed surface. But if I cannot come back to the starting point without changing my direction, then this surface is an open surface. So mathematically, or for your knowledge, point and line are an example of an open surface, and a circle and a square or a rectangle are an example of a closed surface. An example of a closed surface. Okay. And remember, Ampere's law is applicable only for closed surface. Ampere's law is applicable only for closed surface, not for open surface. Is it clear, all of you? Now, don't write, just listen. Let us do it one more time. So, see, the line integral means what?
The line with
Integration.
respect to integration.
Integration with respect to length, correct? Line integral of magnetic field of induction around any closed path in free space is equal to absolute permeability of free space times total current flowing through that path. Correct? Now, this is the formula. Now, do you also know that A dot B is nothing but AB cos theta? A dot B is nothing but AB cos theta from 11th standard vectors. A dot B is AB cos theta from 11th standard vectors. Therefore, integration of B dl will be B dl cos theta is equal to mu naught times total current, where theta is the angle between B and dl. Now, total current, please look at the screen. Total current can be only of two types. Total current can be I or total current can be Ni. If any device has number of turns, then the total current is Ni. And if the device does not have any number of turns, then the total current is only I. Therefore, please look at the screen. So total current can only be of two types. One is I and one is Ni. You don't have any other value for total current. Okay. When you know what is N, number of turns. So any device which has number of turns, then the formula becomes Ni, like a solenoid, like a toroid. Then the formula becomes Ni. Okay. Now let us take a blank page and let us do it once more so that you understand it better. So what I'll do is, so tell me, what is the starting? The line
integral with respect to length.
In a
The line integral of magnetic field of induction
in a closed path
over any closed path in
In
free
free space is equal to
equal to mu naught
absolute permeability
absolute permeability
times
in a free space times total current.
Now, total current can only be of two types. Which are the two types? It can be
I,
either it can be I,
I, and I.
and N is number of turns. So if any
Turns.
device has number of turns, I have to use Ni. Otherwise, I have to use I. And integration of VDL can be written as VDL cos theta, because A dot B is AB cos theta is equal to mu naught times total current. This law is called as Ampere law, and this law is focused on magnetic field. Therefore, in future, if you're supposed to find magnetic field, okay, listen to me carefully. In future, you're supposed to find magnetic field in any problem, especially NEET. You have to think about Ampere's law first. Okay, let me repeat. Ampere's law focuses on magnetic field of induction, capital B. What is the unit of magnetic field of induction? Weber per meter square, or Tesla, or Newton per ampere meter. Whenever you're told to find magnetic field on some device, like a solenoid, or a circle, or a toroid, or anywhere, if you're told to find magnetic field, your first thought should be, can I apply Ampere's law and get the answer? Because more than 90% of the problems to find magnetic field are Ampere's law. Okay, so Ampere's law focuses on magnetic field only. Means I'll have to find magnetic field. Okay, so what we will do is, now I'll show you the wordings again. Okay. Now I have told one more thing, like a total current in a loop, okay, or in a wire will be only I, because a loop will have a single turn and wire will have no turn, therefore N is 1. But total current in a solenoid and toroid will be Ni. Therefore, depending on the situation, whether it is a wire, loop, solenoid, and toroid, I have to either substitute I or I have to substitute Ni. Now, see, this is the statement, correct? This is the formula. So if you know the statement, formula will come directly, and this is just for your reference. The total current in a loop or a wire is I, and total current in a solenoid or toroid is Ni. So this is the entire section of Ampere's law. Can you make a note of this completely? And this is your main formula. Start. The fifth line is total current flowing through area bounded by the path. The total current flowing through the area bounded by the path. Okay, Tanvi?
So can you repeat the last line?
The line integral of magnetic field of induction inside the bracket is V
No, sir,
vector around.
last total current in a solenoid. Yeah.
Hold on. People are asking to read the whole statement, so I'm reading in that last line also. The line integral of magnetic field of induction inside the bracket is capital V vector around any closed path in free space is equal to absolute permeability of free space inside the bracket mu naught times total current flowing through the area bounded by the path. And the last two lines of the page, total current in a wire or in a loop, wire comma loop is equal to I. And the total current in a solenoid or in a toroid is Ni. Total current in a wire or in a loop is I, and total current in a solenoid or toroid is Ni. Correct? Below that, if you want, you can write down one more thing. Best example of open surface is point, comma, line. Write down. Best example of open surface. Best example of open surface is point, comma, line. And best example of closed surface is rectangle, comma, circle. Best example of closed surface is rectangle, comma, circle. There is no unit of free space, but there is a unit of absolute permeability of free space. Now, if you notice, finished everyone?
Wait, sir.
Now, there is one first application of Ampere law. How many applications are there? 3. Listen. How many applications are there? 3. Till now, we have not done the derivation. This one, what you have studied, is just the statement, correct? It is just one paragraph and a formula. We did not prove anything. Now we have 3 derivations. So first one is, see this side heading. Can you read the side heading? It is written application of Ampere's law, correct? The side heading is application of Ampere's law. And what is the first application? I have to find the magnetic field due to a long straight conductor carrying current. Please look at the screen. I have to find, listen to this. I have to find what is magnetic field at one point. I have to find what is magnetic field at a point, and where is that point placed? It is placed next to a wire which is carrying current. So listen to this carefully. There is a wire which is carrying current. Now, because of that current, what is the magnetic field experienced by this point? And that point is P. So listen, what I have to find, listen to me carefully, I have to find magnetic field at P. Check. Due to what? Due to current flowing in the wire which is kept next to it. You understand? What do I have to find? I have to find magnetic field, correct? Correct. Where? At a point, correct? Where is that point placed? A point is placed next to a long, straight conductor carrying current. So if you see the diagram, there is a long, straight conductor carrying current XY, and there is a current flowing, which is I, and this is maybe the center of a wire. And at some distance R, there is a point P. So I have to find magnetic induction at this point. And what is the speciality of this point? That this point is placed next to a wire carrying current. Okay. So I will draw the diagram again next to it. So the same diagram, let me draw here. There is a long wire which is by the name of XY, and the current is flowing through this wire, and the current is denoted by I. And let the wire's center be at O. Now let me take a point P, which is at some distance R from the wire. Now, what is our agenda? Our agenda is to find, what you have to find? Magnetic field. Where? At P. And what is the speciality of P? P is a point which is placed next to a long straight conductor carrying current. Now, I have to find a specific formula for magnetic field at point P. Okay, this is our question. How do we get the answer? How do we use Ampere's law? All that is secondary. That is the answer. Did you understand the question? What is the question? I have to find magnetic field at point P. And what is the point P's location? It is placed next to a long, straight conductor carrying current. And this is our diagram. So this diagram I've expanded and I've shown it to you. No need to do this right now. And what is our thing we have to find? We have to find magnetic induction at P. Understood? So I want you to write, listen to this. I want you to write the side heading, application of Ampere's law. That is magnetic field due to a long straight conductor carrying current, and draw the diagram. And after that, I'll give you the notes. Start writing.
So we have to find magnetic field at P now.
Correct. You write what is written, then below that I'll give you the paragraph, what you need to do. This is the side heading given in the module. So I've given the same side heading. Actually, it should be magnetic field at P due to a long straight conductor carrying current. Correct? That is your doubt, no?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, correct. It should be like that. Actually, the side heading should be magnetic field at a point placed next to a long straight conductor. But I'll give that in the notes. But in the module, it is given as this side heading. So finished? Now below the diagram,
Yes.
write down. Consider a point capital P. Don't write capital P, you just write capital P. Okay. Consider a point P, means write it in capital. Consider a point P placed at a distance R, that is small r. Consider a point P placed at a distance R from a conductor carrying current XY. From a conductor carrying current XY as shown in the figure.
So in last you told XY, no?
Yeah, XY is the name of the conductor. So consider a point P which is placed at a distance R from a current carrying conductor XY. Full stop. We have to find magnetic field B. We have to find magnetic field, that is capital B. We have to find magnetic field at, we have to find magnetic field at P due to XY. We have to find B at P due to XY. Understood the statement? We have to find B at P due to XY. Now listen to me carefully. Now P is the point. Now to apply Ampere's law, I cannot apply because Ampere's law is applicable only to closed surface and a point is an example of an open surface. Therefore, can I directly use Ampere's law? Answer is no. I cannot directly use Ampere's law. Why? Because Ampere's law is applicable only to closed surfaces. But our point is an example of an open surface. So what is the solution? Now I have to apply Ampere's law, but I cannot apply because of one condition, that Ampere's law is applicable only to closed surfaces. So what I will do is, listen to me carefully. We will do something that we do very good, or we do something very well in physics. What do we do something very well in physics? We assume. So let us assume now. Now listen, what do we assume? We assume the point capital P. Now listen to this carefully because our assumption will start. We will assume our point capital P to be a part of an imaginary circle like this. Now circle is imaginary. Now can I say my point P is a part of a closed surface? Now can I say my point P is a part of a closed surface, and that circle is horizontal surface. Circle is horizontal. For example, if this is the wire, please look at the screen. If this is the wire, and if this is the point P, correct? I will assume P to be a part of the circle, and that circle is a horizontal circle. Means this circle will be horizontal, not a vertical circle. I'm taking a horizontal circle. Now, how much length does P take? The whole circle's length is L. Therefore, can I say the point P will take a very small length dl? Length is the length of the entire circle. So point P will take a very small length dl. dl is a differential length. That means very small length. Did you understand our assumption? Now can I say I can apply Ampere's law? Yes or no? Yes. Now I can apply Ampere's law because point P has become a part of a closed surface. So whenever you are in any trouble in physics, start assuming, not only in physics, in life also, and proceed. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, very good, but at least you can proceed. Okay. Now all this is not correct, which you'll realize later on that all these laws are not exactly correct, they're wrong. But for a 12th standard, they are correct. Okay. So what did we do? See my second diagram. Second diagram is same as first diagram. I have just drawn one circle, which is an imaginary circle, and that imaginary circle will be called as Ampere circle. You know what is the meaning of Ampere circle? Listen to this. Define Ampere circle. Ampere circle is an imaginary circle drawn to satisfy Ampere law. Similarly, what is Gauss sphere? Gauss is a scientist. Gauss sphere is an imaginary sphere drawn to satisfy Gauss theorem. So in physics, if you have a name of a scientist and if you have a name of a diagram, you should understand that's an imaginary diagram to satisfy this person's law. For example, what is Franklin triangle? Franklin triangle is an imaginary triangle drawn to satisfy Franklin theorem. Understand? Similarly, what is Ampere circle? What I have drawn right now is something called Ampere circle. So what is Ampere circle? Ampere circle is an imaginary circle drawn to satisfy Ampere law. Okay. Now don't tell me that Ampere circle is a circle drawn by Ampere. Okay, it's completely wrong. It is circle drawn by us, which is imaginary, to satisfy some law. Now the first diagram that you have drawn, I want you to draw the same diagram again. Please listen to me. In that, just you have to assume a horizontal imaginary circle where a point P takes a very small length dl, that is differential length. Okay, so this is the diagram. I'll try to zoom in, but the problem with zooming in is it becomes more blur, but it's fine. Okay, this is the diagram. Start. You can imagine. You can also assume, correct? Start. Wait, what have we written last? XY, correct? Below that right now. To satisfy Ampere's law, to satisfy Ampere's law, we assume, to satisfy Ampere's law, we assume point capital P is a part of an imaginary circle it's horizontal, don't need to write, but you should know it's horizontal. We imagine point P to be a part of an imaginary circle occupying a very small length dl. Occupying a very small length dl. Occupying a very small length dl.
So can you repeat again last line?
We imagine point P to be a part of an imaginary circle occupying a very small length dl. Okay. Now all of you listen to me. Now can I apply Ampere's law?
Yeah.
Now can I apply Ampere's law? Now if I apply Ampere's law, okay. What is the starting of Ampere's law? Closed integration of B dot dl, listen to this, is mu naught times total current. Now I know that B dot dl is B dl cos theta is equal to mu naught times total current. Total current in this case will only be I, not Ni, because it is a single loop, correct? So N is equal to 1. Did you understand the first two lines? Yes or no? Understood? Let me continue. Since it is a horizontal circle, horizontal means theta equal to 0. There is no angle. And if theta is equal to 0, what is cos theta? Cos theta will become cos 0. Cos theta will become cos 0. What is cos 0?
1.
1. Therefore, can I
1.
say the next line cos theta is out? Understood? It was a horizontal circle. Horizontal circle means flat, means no angle. No angle means 0 degree. What is cos 0? Cos 0 means 1. That is why in the next line cos theta is out. Now don't think that I have removed cos theta. Theta is equal to 0, therefore cos theta is out. Right hand side does not change at all. Okay. And according to Ampere's law, I have to integrate with respect to length, correct? Look at Ampere's law. What is Ampere's law? First line. The line integral, correct? The line integral. That means my integration has to be with respect to length. Therefore, everything other than length has to come out of integration. Therefore, I take B outside the integration because it is a constant. Right hand side will remain as it is. Okay. Then I will continue. Look at this. So start. Tell me, how do I start the derivation? Everyone look at the screen. How do I start the
What's the
derivation?
formula?
I start with the formula, that is closed integration of B dot dl is equal to mu naught times total current. Correct? This is my starting. Now closed integration of B dot dl will be B dl cos theta is equal to mu naught times total current. In this case will be I. It will not be Ni because it does not have many number of turns. It has a single turn. Correct? Continue. Now closed integration of B dl cos 0. Cos 0 is 1 because it's an horizontal circle is equal to mu naught times I. Now, since integration is only with respect to length and magnetic field will be a constant, I will take it outside the integration sign. This will be equal to mu naught I. Now, what is complete integration of small length? Complete integration means if I combine all the small length, I will get the total length. Do you agree? What is the meaning of this? This means it is complete integration of all the small length. Can I say integration of all the small length will be the complete length? Now, what is the complete length of a circle? What is the complete length
2
of
pi
a
r.
circle?
L.
Circumference, correct. The complete length of a circle is nothing but the circumference of a circle. Therefore, look at the screen now. Therefore, can I write B into the complete integration of all the small length will give me the total length of the circle, which is the circumference of the circle, is equal to mu naught into I. Therefore, what is my magnetic field equal to? Mu naught I upon 2 pi r over. Derivation is over. Did you understand this derivation? Now I will, don't write, I will show it to you because that is blur. You don't have to see that. Now, tell me, read it. Tell me if you understand. First line, second, third, fourth, fifth, answer. Don't write. I'll show you from my slide. I have written exactly the same thing on a blank page. Understood all the statements? And remember, one more thing. The right-hand side does not change at all. Just check. It will be as it is. Therefore, once you get the right-hand side, mu naught I, that will remain as it is till the last step. Only the left-hand side I have to start simplifying in any derivation. In any derivation, right-hand side is completely sorted. You just have to do operation on the left-hand side. Now, 1 minute, I'll show you the second diagram again. Some people wanted to see it. Then I will show you my notes to complete it. Tanvi, is it clear? Can I go to the next page? Okay. Now, below the diagram, you can do this derivation. Now, can you try to do it without seeing? And can you also make this as your main formula for magnetic induction due to a current carrying conductor? What will be the unit? Can anyone tell me? What will be the unit? Can anyone tell me?
Tesla.
Unit will be Tesla itself because ultimately it's magnetic field of induction itself. So magnetic field of induction, be it any formula, the unit will be Tesla itself. Okay, start. Finished? Should I repeat or you got it?
Yes, sir.
You have to just remember one thing, that the total length of a circle is the circumference of a circle, always. Total length of a circle is nothing but the circumference of the circle. And the formula for circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. The formula for circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Once you're done, please put a dot so that I know we can proceed. Okay, we will proceed. Let me see your doubts if you have any. Therefore, now you have two formulae. Think in your mind. Which are the two formulae you have? The first one is Ampere's law. Actual formula for Ampere's law. Closed integration of V dot dl is equal to mu naught times total current. First formula. Second formula, what is magnetic induction due to a long straight conductor? It is mu naught I divided by 2 pi r, where mu naught equal to 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. If you don't know, please make a note somewhere. The value for mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. The value of mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7.
Sir, what value of mu naught?
Not it.
Value of the mu naught?
Can someone hear her and then what is it?
She's asking the value of mu naught.
4 pi into 10 power minus 7. 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. You will be giving your NEET in 2022, correct? All of you. You will be giving your NEET in 2022. Good news for you is many AIIMS and many other government colleges opening in Maharashtra. So number of medical seats have been increased by around 21 to 2200, 2200 seats. So very good opportunity, new colleges, but government colleges. So you are very lucky in this batch because your competition will remain the same, but the number of seats will be more. And because of COVID, many people or many students from villages have backed out. Means they are going to give it next year. Then they are not comfortable with online. So this is the right year for you to capitalize. Okay. So in fact, you are at a better situation than normal people pre-COVID. Okay. So please take advantage of it.
So
Because
we'll be
mature-
giving a NEET 2023, right?
Which one?
We'll be giving a NEET 2023, right?
Giving a NEET in 2023. Why?
Okay, sorry, sir, I got it. 2022.
You like NEET so much, you want to give it twice, you can give it twice.
No, sir, I thought 2022 is going on.
Oh wow, you're living in the future already. Okay. Okay. Now they are giving in 2022. Now, for people who have problems with online, okay, which I know many of you will have problems, and we all know how we have studied online in the past also. You also know what you have done online, okay? Music, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Zoom, everything open simultaneously. After you get bored of everything, then you come to Zoom and see what is going on. Sir is still talking. Again, go back, minimize, and go back doing your work. Okay. In fact, you people are still good. In my 12th standard class, when I used to give notes to all the batches, everyone used to write the notes very nicely. Then after my class, when I go to Instagram stories, 30 minutes ago, 35 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, all stories are there. And that too, they're not at home. They're enjoying outside. My own students. But it is fine. My only question or my only request to all of you is, okay, a sincere request. Any extra mark that you get in NEET, okay, you will have 4 marks, correct? Plus 4. You can get it from bio, you can get it from physics, you can get it from chemistry. You can get marks from anywhere. Marks in bio, you are expected to get full. Full in the sense, almost full. So if you score in bio, your rank will not change much. But if you get +4 in physics, +4 in chem, your ranking will go up drastically. And every time your rank goes up, your fees comes down. So literally, it is like KBC. Means every right question you get in physics or chemistry, you are saving at least 6 to 7 lakh with each right question. You are saving 6 to 7 lakh. And I don't need to tell you, you can ask your friends or you also should know, medical seats, if not got by merit, are the most expensive seats in India. I hope everyone agrees with that. If you're going to give donation or if you're going to get a management quota, even dental is more than 2 crores donation. Okay? Dental, BDS. Now, MBBS seats are so much in demand. If you go with normal, not merit, but with donation or with extra money, it will be in crore, okay, not in lakh, your total medical fees. So your intention has to be to go to merit. Merit will be as good as engineering, which will be very cheap. Okay. So please actually study like your life depends on it. Okay. Because no point spending parents' money. Okay. You have to save it. Okay? No point spending lakhs and lakhs of rupees. You know the fees and donation structure of all medical colleges, especially private colleges. You have to aim for government colleges. If not, private merit quota is fine, but you should aim for merit seat only, not for management or not for NRI seats. It's very easy to get, at least in Maharashtra where there are many colleges. Okay, so please be a little serious because even if you get 2 to 3 questions wrong here and there, your payment will be a lot more. Okay, payment will be a lot more. So please don't. The parents will not tell you. Parents will try to keep you guarded from all of this, but I am telling you that it will be a big burden on them. Or else, if you're already earning, then it's good. But otherwise, if you're spending your parents' money, the least you can do is be sincere to your studies. Okay, do that. Okay, and the medical seats which are going to come have started this year itself. This year itself, Nitya, the colleges have opened. Okay. And according to the government, they're going to open not only medical, they're going to open more IITs. Have you heard the government has announced they're going to open more IITs, more AIIMS, Bharatiya Vidyapeeth colleges? Have you heard of this? So colleges are opening left, right, and center, especially in Mumbai, Pune regions. So if you're comfortable with Mumbai, Pune, you have a lot of options. You don't need to go outside Mumbai, Pune. And between Mumbai, Pune also, there are many colleges. So please target that. Now, we have done this formula, V is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. Using this formula, let us do 1 or 2 problems. Let me see if the problems are there. I will show it to you. I think you should know the value of mu naught. If you know that, then I think we are good to go. Let me check if I have any problem based on that. Yes, this is a question from your NCERT or HSC, I don't remember, but okay, it's anyway a question. It is also there in your module MCQ, not MCQ, example. Answer is given. Tell me if you can apply the formula and get the same answer, and I will show it to you. I'm anyway going to give you this PDF once the class is over. So just try to solve right now. Start. You should know the formula. What is the formula for magnetic field of induction? Anyone getting the answer?
Sir, wait a minute. Sir, 5 into 10 raised to minus 7.
Yeah, sir.
Correct.
5 into 10 raised to minus 7.
Correct. Correct.
Unit
Okay.
is Tesla, na, sir?
Hmm?
Unit is Tesla, na?
Unit is Tesla, yes. It is magnetic field. Unit is correct.
Per meter square.
Weber per meter square or Tesla or Newton per ampere meter. 3 units, any one you can write.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let me solve it and let me show it to you. So B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. You know the value of mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7, which is given over here, but don't expect in the exam that they'll give this to you. Into current is 5 ampere upon 2 pi into 2 centimeter is 2 into 10 power minus 2 meter. You have to convert centimeter into meter. Correct? Now pi and pi will cancel first. 2 into 2, 4, and 4 also will cancel first. Therefore, 4 pi, 2 pi, 2 cancels. You're left with 5 into 10 power minus 7 plus 2. Tell me, are you getting this?
Yes.
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 What the answer then?
5 into
Easy.
10 raised to 5.
10 raised to minus.
5
Minus
into 10
5.
raised to minus 5.
Minus, not plus.
Sir, minus 5.
Minus. Correct. Getting it?
Yes.
Now, this answer I think is correct, but okay, start. You have to do a little bit of calculation. Same logic. Start. Same formula, you just have to change the values. And tell me if you're getting. I think this answer is correct over here. Getting it?
So 1 minute.
Yes, sir. 3.35 into 10 raised to minus 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope you understood. The intention of doing this problem is you should understand which formula and the substitution. Okay. Problem is very easy. But in the exam, when it comes, you should know which chapter it belongs to, which application, which formula. Now you know there's only one formula, mu naught I by 2 pi r. But in the exam, there are hundreds
Sir,
of
every
combinations.
time the distance will be in meter, na?
Meter only, SI unit only. So if it is given in centimeter or millimeter, you will have to convert it into meter. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, let us go to the next application. Next application is the biggest derivation. And the third application is the smallest derivation. So we have 2 more derivations to go. So let me start with the second. Second one I want you to concentrate because it is a little bigger one. A lot of assumptions. And the answer also is an assumption, but it's fine. Shall we start?
Sir,
It is
derivation of this same formula.
no. Derivation of the same formula. We have got this formula, we have derived it, correct? We have already derived this formula. Now I'm going to the next application. I'm going to the next application where I have to find magnetic induction along the, listen to this. I have to find magnetic induction along the axis of a solenoid. What I have to find? I have to find magnetic induction along the axis of a solenoid. Now, what is a solenoid? Yes, then I'll do it in a bit. Solenoid is something that is having a cylindrical core. Okay, like here. This is a core, cylindrical. On this, I put some wire. This is called a solenoid. This is called a solenoid. Now think about this pen, or if you have a pen at home, you take a pen and take a chain, what you're wearing, and put it around this. That is a solenoid. If you have seen a thread packet, you know what is a thread packet? Have you seen thread? It is on a spindle. Have you seen thread?
Yes, sir.
How it
Yes.
comes? Now thread also, if you see, the core is a paper cylinder. Have you seen that? On a paper cylinder, n number of turns of thread are there, correct? Have you seen that? That is a kind of solenoid. Now instead of thread, think there is a wire. Think there is a wire. Now that system is called a solenoid. Now I will show you actually how a solenoid looks. Shall we do it? A small system. I'm just showing you a representation. Don't say that this is actually a solenoid. I will take a cylindrical core, okay, non-conducting. Now on that, I will take a wire and I will keep taking turns like this. 1, 2, 3. Now this system is called a solenoid. Now in any procession or in any electronic device, you will see some device like this, okay? Now can I say in this case, look at the screen properly. Can I say n equal to 3? Check. Why n is equal to 3? Because have you
Number
noticed
of turns.
I have 3 turns. So like that I can, if I want to make n equal to 4, I have to compress that and I will have to make one more turn. Now can I say n is equal to 4? Like that, if you look at your thread, can I say n can pass even 1000? Because thread, there are more than 1000 number of turns on that. Okay. So can I say in a solenoid, the total current will be I or Ni? What will be the total current in a solenoid?
Ni.
It will be Ni. Now, if I show you the diagram of a solenoid, 1 minute, if I show you the diagram of a solenoid, okay, I will draw on this so that you understand. The application to, don't write anything, just listen. The application to is what is magnetic induction along the axis of a long straight solenoid. Is that clear? Magnetic induction along the axis of a long straight solenoid. For that, what do I do is, I take a solenoid and I take an axis AB of length L, and solenoid has n number of turns. So what I have to find in this case, I have to find magnetic induction along AB. I have to find magnetic induction along AB. Did you understand the question? So let me draw it
Sir,
again.
can you tell what is magnetic induction?
Magnetic induction is flux upon area. Magnetism chapter, 11th standard. Magnetic induction, everyone knows phi by A, Weber per meter square, general formula. Now see, this is a solenoid which is having a cylindrical core. On top of this, I have n number of turns of a wire. Check where current is passing. And the axis of a solenoid is over here, which is AB. And I have to find what is magnetic induction along the axis of a solenoid. And the axis of a solenoid, let the length be L. Did you understand the diagram? Understand how a solenoid looks? What I have to find? Magnetic induction. Where? At AB. What is AB? AB is the axis of a solenoid. Is this much clear? What is my first application? My first application is to find magnetic field of induction at a point which is placed next to a long straight current carrying conductor. What is my second application? I have to find magnetic induction along what? The axis of what? Of a solenoid. I have to find magnetic induction along the axis of a solenoid. Is it clear? I have to find magnetic induction along the axis of a solenoid. Now, write the side heading, draw the diagram, and then I'll proceed with the Ampere's law. Start. Now, can I apply Ampere's law directly on AB? Tell me yes or no.
Yeah. No.
No.
Can I apply Ampere's law directly on AB? Yes or no?
No.
No, open.
Outside.
Answer is no, because AB is a line. Correct? AB is a line. And line also is an example of an open surface. Line is also an example of an open surface. So what do? I start assuming. So now I will assume AB, listen to this. Now I will assume AB to be a part of Ampere rectangle. Now, can anyone define what is an Ampere rectangle?
Imaginary rectangle.
Imaginary rectangle to fulfill Ampere's law.
Correct. Imaginary rectangle drawn to satisfy Ampere law. So now this is my axis AB, correct? Now I will imagine AB to be a part of an imaginary rectangle A, B, C, D. Now can I apply Ampere law?
Yeah, because
Now
it
can
is
I apply
stretched.
Ampere law? Yes. Therefore, you have written the side heading, you have drawn the diagram, correct? Now below the diagram, write down notes, write down. We have to find magnetic induction. We have to find magnetic field of 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 induction along AB. We have to find magnetic field of induction along AB. Full stop. To satisfy Ampere's law, we imagine AB. We imagine AB to be a part. We imagine AB to be a part of a rectangle ABCD as shown in the figure below. As shown in the figure below. As shown in the figure below. To satisfy Ampere law, we imagine AB to be a part of a rectangle ABCD as shown in the figure below. Now below that, draw the figure with the rectangle. That is the second diagram. Start. Same as the first diagram, just that you have made a rectangle ABCD. Now I want all of you to concentrate very well because we are going to do the derivation. Now this derivation is this much. I'll do it on a blank page, but this is the derivation. Okay. I will start with the first part and then I will tell you to do the second part. Everyone has the diagram in front of you. Everyone has the diagram in front of you.
Yes.
So now let me start the derivation. I'll start. So how do I start the derivation? I start the derivation with Ampere's law itself. What is Ampere's law?
Total current.
First part clear? First part clear? Now tell me, what should be the
Yes.
second part?
Cos theta.
And can I say in this case, my total current will be Ni? In this case, my
Yes.
total current will
Yes.
be Ni. And my closed integration will have to go from A to B because I want to find the axis. Correct? I want to find magnetic induction along the axis. What is the axis? A to B. Now, I told you what is the difference between integration and closed integration. Now, what does closed integration A to B mean? It means integration of A to B plus B to C plus C to D plus D to A. Do you understand? What is the meaning of closed integration? Closed integration means A to B plus B to C plus C to D plus D to A. Do you remember in the beginning, I told you the difference between integration and closed integration, correct? I told you the difference between
Yes.
integration and closed integration. Correct? So now, listen to this carefully. Left hand side will be integration of A to B BL cos theta plus integration of B to C BL cos theta plus integration of C to D BL cos theta plus integration of D to A BL cos theta is equal to mu naught Ni. Tell me, did you understand this step? Now,
Yes.
closed integration of A to B, closed integration means I have to do integration. Listen to this. Closed integration of A to B. Look at the screen. Closed integration of A to B means integration of A to B plus integration of B to C plus integration of C to D plus integration of D to A. Means I started with A and I ended also. I started with A and I ended also with A. One complete loop. So can I say if I expand this, I will get these four terms that completes, and right hand side will not change. Right hand side will remain mu naught Ni itself. Okay, so look at this. This was our first step of Ampere law. This is our general formula. This is once I expand. This is my second step, and this is my third step. Tell me whether you have understood the first three steps of our derivation. First step, second step, and third step. All of you tell me yes or no. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So make a note. After that, we'll continue together. Start with these three steps below the diagram. Done?
Yes.
Sir, by mistakenly you had written BL cos theta.
Hmm.
So it should be DL, differential.
Yeah, BDL cos theta, correct. It should be BDL cos theta, correct. BDL cos theta. Correct. It should be DL. Okay, now I'm doing it in this step only. You do it as the next step. Now tell me, AB, what is the angle it makes with the axis? See the line AB and tell me what angle does it make with the axis. Can I say it is the axis itself? So it makes angle 0 degree. Check.
Yes.
Check. So please look at
Yes.
the screen now. Please look at the screen. What I do is, look what I'm doing. Can I say this theta I can remove and I can write 0 because AB makes 0 degree with the axis. Now similarly BC. Tell me the line BC, what angle it makes with the axis.
90
90
degree.
degree.
90.
So can I say I can remove this theta and I can remove this theta and I can write 90 over here.
Yes, sir.
Also, if I remove this theta, tell me what angle does DC make
0.
with the axis?
0.
0.
0, perfect. And what angle does AD make with an axis?
90.
90.
So can I say this is my next step? You don't erase it. You write this step as your next step. Start.
Finish, sir.
Now, you finished 4 steps. Now, 5th step also I'm doing it on this step only. You do it as the next step. Now look at the screen. Tell me what is cos 0?
1.
0.
1.
Cos 0 is 1. Therefore, can I say in the first step, since cos 0 is 1, this term will go because cos 0 is 1. What is cos 90?
0.
0. 0.
Cos 90 is 0. Therefore, can I say this entire term will become 0? So this entire term I can remove.
Yes, sir.
Now, third term. Tell me what is cos 0? Cos 0 is
1.
again
1.
1. Therefore, can I say I can remove this term? Now, what is cos 90? Cos 90 is 0.
0.
Therefore, can I say this whole term will go away? Therefore, can I say this is your step number 5? Tell me, are you getting this much?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, please look at the screen. Tell me, are you coming till this step? All of you, are you coming till this step?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, look at the screen again, everyone. Last 2 steps. Now, look at the line CD. Look at the line CD in your diagram. Is it a part of your solenoid or is any part of the line touching the solenoid? Check.
No.
No.
No. For example, once look at the screen. Okay, once look at the screen. If I have a solenoid, okay, I'm just giving you one example, and I have A, B, C, D. Can I say A, B? Both the points are a part of my axis. In
Yes,
B,
sir.
C, at least can I say B is a part of my axis, C is not a part of my axis. In AD, can I say A is a part of my axis, D is not a part of my axis? But DC, can I say both are not a part of my axis because they are outside the system itself? And do you also notice that DC is completely outside the solenoid? Check.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, it is not zero, but I will ignore this term. I will ignore. It is not zero. I will ignore because this is outside my solenoid. If I ignore that term, tell me what I will left with. We are left with integration of A to B into DL is equal to mu naught and I. Correct? If I ignore C to D. Correct? Therefore, write down.
Yes.
Ignoring this term as it is outside the solenoid. Ignoring this term as it is outside the solenoid, we get what? We get this term. Finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, last step, and I'll get the answer. So look at the screen. I will take B outside the integration sign. Integration of A to B DL is equal to mu naught and I. Now tell me what is the total length between A and B. Check the diagram. What is the total length between A and B? Total
L.
length between A and B is L. That is the length of the axis. Check the diagram. Therefore, can I say integration between A to B of small length DL is capital L is equal to mu naught Ni. Therefore, what is B equal to? Tell me.
Mu
Mu
naught
naught
Ni.
Ni by L. Over.
Yes, sir.
Derivation is over. Therefore, B is equal to mu naught Ni by L.
So
Therefore,
can
B
you
is
repeat the second last part?
mu naught Ni by L. I'll do it. Just finish writing it. I'll again do the last three steps on the new page. I'll repeat from this step. Okay, everyone listen. Everyone came till this step. Integration of A to B. B into DL is mu naught Ni. Now, right hand side won't change at all. Right hand side will remain the same till the end of the derivation. Left hand side, what will happen is B is outside. Integration of A to B DL is inside. Right hand side will remain as mu naught Ni itself. Now, integration of A to B DL means what is the total length between A and B? Check the diagram. Total length between A and B is the length of the axis itself, capital L. Check the diagram where the length of the axis AB was L. Therefore, total length between A and B is capital L. That I will get it as mu naught Ni. Or what is B equal to? What is B equal to? Mu naught Ni upon L. B is equal to mu naught Ni upon L. Now, this is your formula number 3. That is the magnetic induction of a solenoid, mu naught Ni by L. Is it clear? So make a note of this formula. Make a note of this formula. It is mu naught Ni by L.
So why we took that B outside?
B is a constant.
Okay.
Magnetic field will remain a constant, and anything that is a constant has to be removed outside the integration sign. Secondly, we are integrating with respect to length. Check the Ampere's law, first line, the line integral. Line integral means we are integrating with respect to length. Therefore, any term that does not have length has to be taken outside the integration. Therefore, B has to be taken outside because we are focusing only on length. Understood?
Yes. Sir.
Now, using this formula, we'll do one problem of a solenoid. So everyone keep this formula in mind. What is B is equal to? It is mu naught Ni by L. Is it clear? B is equal to mu naught Ni by L. So how many formulae did you study? 3. Listen to me, 3 formulae. First formula is Ampere's law itself. Closed integration of B dl is equal to mu naught times total current. What is our second formula? Second formula is of a current carrying conductor. Mu naught I by 2 pi r. Correct? Third one is what is magnetic induction of a solenoid? What is it? Mu naught Ni by L. So the formula or the problem that we will do will be start. This is the next problem.
So how to take length? 5
Hmm?
centimeter. Like both 2 lengths are given. The pi meter and the
Sir,
5
5
centimeter.
What is the
diameter.
length? 5 pi meter. Diameter is given. We don't have to consider that value. It's a dummy value.
Yes, sir.
Understanding?
Yeah, got you.
Diameter is a dummy value because in our formula, what is the formula? Mu naught Ni by L. Mu naught, you know the value. Is N given? Yes, 1000. Is I given? 5. L given? Pi. That's it. Any other data is a dummy value. Now, answer is on the screen. Tell me, are you getting the same answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you on the screen. I'll show it to you on the screen. See here. I know that magnetic induction of a solenoid B is equal to mu naught Ni upon L. Correct? Yes, yes, no. Correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes. Now, mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into number of turns that they have given is 1000
1000.
into current they have given is 5 ampere upon length they have given is pi. So 1 pi and 1 pi will cancel. 5 into 4 will be 20 into 10 power minus 7 into 1000. Can I write it as 10 power 3?
Yes.
Now 20 can I write it as 2 into 10 power 1 into 10 power minus 7 into 10 power 3. Now 3 plus 1, 4. 4 minus 7 minus 3. Therefore, answer will be 2 into 10 power minus 3. That same answer is over here. Check whether you're getting this. Therefore, can I say this 5 centimeter in diameter is just to confuse you? It's a dummy value. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what is the unit?
Tesla. or Weber per meter square or Newton per ampere. Now the last finished. Shall we go to the last application? That is the last
Yes.
derivation. It's very, very simple. It is, what is the magnetic induction along the axis of a toroid? What is magnetic induction along the axis of a toroid? Toroid is nothing but a bent solenoid. Means if I take a solenoid and if I connect the ends, it becomes a circle. I'll give you an example. Take a refill of a pen and try to connect both the ends of a refill. Means to the tip to the end. Can I see if I try to connect the ends of a refill, the refill will form a circle. Just think about it.
Yes.
If I try to connect the two ends of a refill, don't do it. Okay, ink will spill out. It will form a circle. So toroid is nothing but a bent solenoid, or in very simple words, toroid is nothing but a circle with n number of turns. Repeat. Toroid is nothing but a circle with n number of turns. Therefore, the derivation, everyone please look at the derivation. Our derivation will be so simple. What was our first derivation? Can I say this is our first derivation? Everyone check the first derivation. Go to your first derivation.
Yes, sir.
Now, in this derivation, don't you agree that this is a derivation of a circle only that we have done? First derivation. We have
Yes.
assumed a circle.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
But what is a toroid? Toroid is a circle with n number of turns. Toroid is a circle with n number of turns. Therefore, I just need to add n everywhere. I get my answer for toroid. In the first derivation, we did not take n number of turns. In the first derivation itself, on the right hand side, if you add n, because it's a circle with n number of turns, you will get your answer for toroid.
So toroid will also
Understood?
not have any angle.
What?
Toroid will also not have any angle.
Toroid also does not have any angle. And secondly, let me tell you one thing. Toroid, we do not need to assume any diagram because toroid itself is a circle. Therefore, toroid itself is a closed figure in the first place. In our derivation 1, we assume the point to be a part of a circle. In our derivation 2, we assumed our axis to be a part of a rectangle. But in our toroid derivation, we will not assume toroid to be a part of anything because toroid itself is a circle. And the derivation is so simple. The first derivation, if you add n on the right hand side, I will get the answer. Now let me show you the actual derivation. I'm going to give you this PDF anyway, so listen to this. In this derivation, this is the derivation of a toroid. Okay, it is little blur, but tell me if you can understand. It is same like first derivation, only n on the right hand side. Just check. And the diagram is, it is a solenoid bent into a circle. And if you notice, everything is the same as that of the first derivation, only n is added on the right hand side. So what was our magnetic induction for a point next to a conductor? Mu naught I by 2 pi r, correct? It was mu naught I by 2 pi r. What will be magnetic induction of a toroid?
Magnetic
Mu
induction
naught
is equal to mu
Ni
naught
by 2.
Ni by 2 pi r.
Correct. Therefore, the first derivation and third derivation are exactly the same. There's only one n difference. Okay. So just write, don't do the derivation. I'll give you the PDF. Just write magnetic induction along a toroid is mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. Same like first derivation. If you want to do the derivation, do the first derivation again. Just add n on the right hand side. And the formula for magnetic field of induction is mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. It is mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. It is mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. This will be your fourth formula that you need to know. It is mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. Written? Now listen. Now listen. How many formulae you need to know? 4 formulae. Check. One is Ampere's law. One is magnetic induction because of long conductor. One is solenoid and one is toroid. And what is the formula for toroid? Mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. Now making use of this formula, we'll do one last problem for today before we stop. This completes Ampere's law. Very important topic. We'll just do one problem for toroid so that you are done. Start. Formula, let me write it on the screen for you. It will be V is equal to mu naught Ni upon 2 pi r. Start. I think the answer might be right or might be wrong. I don't know. Just find out. Tell me if you're getting the answer. You have to find current in this case.
Sir, is it 1000 times?
What is the question?
Nothing, sir.
Tell me if you guys are getting it.
25 ampere.
सर स्क्रीन वाले आंसर से नहीं मैच कर रहा.
Getting 25? I'll do it on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is B given as? 5 into 10 power minus 2 Tesla. Therefore, B is given as 5 into 10 power minus 2 Tesla is equal to mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into 1000 turns is 10 power 3 into I divided by 2 pi into 10 centimeter is 10 into 10 power minus 2 meter. Tell me if this, are you getting this step?
Yes.
Direct substitution of whatever is given in the question. That is B is equal to mu naught Ni by 2 pi r. Now, pi and pi will cancel first itself. 2 ones are 2 twos are. My intention is to eliminate the denominator, okay? Now, 10 into 10 power minus 2, can I write it as 10 into 10 power minus 2 is 10 power minus 1? Can I write it like this? 10 into 10 power minus 2 is 10 power minus 1. Now 10 power minus 1, if I take it to the numerator, it will become 10 power plus 1. Therefore, my left hand side will remain as 5 into 10 power minus 2 is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 plus 3 plus 1 into I. Correct? Now what is 10 power minus 7 plus 3? Minus 4. Minus 4 plus 1 minus 3. Therefore, can I say it will be 5 into 10 power minus 2 is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 3i. Getting it, not getting it?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll erase the top part. So look at this. I'll keep I on one side. I'll keep other things on the other side. Therefore, it will become 5 into 10 power minus 2 divided by 2 into 10 power minus 3. Correct? Now, 5 by 2 as it is into 10 power minus 2 plus 3. Because minus 3, if I take it to the numerator, it will become plus 3. Therefore, I will get 5 by 2 into 10 power 1 is 10 because minus 2 plus 3 is plus 1. Therefore, I will get 50 by 2. 50 by 2 is 25 ampere. Is it clear? All of you getting this much? 25 ampere.
Yes.
Easy? We have completed a very important topic in physics, which is Ampere's law. And we have 4 formulae, and all these problems are your textbook problems plus your module problems. When you come to the module, whenever you see solenoid, solenoid formula. Whenever you see toroid, toroid formula. Whenever you see a wire, wire formula. Direct. Easy? I'm sending this document in the group. Just keep it with you, and I hope you have made notes also of this. Fine?
Yes, sir.
So with that, we stop today's class. Next class, I will do the next topic, but today's class we have completed Ampere's law. Okay. So thank you, everyone. See you in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye.